far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there is nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of this nightmare.
Hi folks, welcome. We're here tonight, short track racing in here, and we got a good one for you. Race number 2 of the season here for the Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing, and these guys have got the super late models short track right here. Second.
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna. Yeah, that's it. I always mispronounce this track. Smyrna. How you pronounce it?
It's New Smyrna. That's how I
Oh,
pronounce
okay.
it.
There you go. You learn something new every day. Hey. Well, I got Kaysen up here with me. Kaysen, what do you think about some short track racing?
Can't complain about some good short track racing. That's a fact.
No doubt about it, man. I tell you what, you're going to get familiar with a lot of these guys out here. A lot of them, week in and week out, pretty much the same dudes out here. You got, Brad Carpenter putting it on pole, Brian Zimmerman. The main guy I'm going to tell you to keep an eye on, who really, really dominates, Chris Carroll. He has been the champ for the last several seasons. Now, Chase Pierce, though, has came on strong. Last season, he came in with no wins in this series, but ended the season with 4 wins. So, started off hot. We'll see what happens. He actually didn't have a bad finish last week.
Definitely looking forward to tonight. It's definitely seems like definitely going to be a good race tonight.
Oh man, no doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you. Let's see. Have you ever raced this track before?
I have a few times. I've actually been to it. In
real life?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Where's it located at? Where's it located?
It's located just, I think, south of Daytona.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. Well, it's definitely a short track. Kind of reminds me of, well, I was going to say Martinsville, but man, this thing's got more banking than that.
This place kind of reminds me of somewhat like the Coliseum.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Always like looking at these paint jobs out here, and I tell you what, Larry Bell, that's a wild one he's got.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out here. Better than mine is. So.
Now look at that. I like the Pontiac went out there, man. Came out the Trans Am. It looks like the Smokey and the Bandit.
Definitely does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Awesome. All right, going green. Pace cars in. Gonna see a lot of probably 2x2 now. The one thing, and I don't know, you said you've raced a lot here in short track racing. One, a lot of these tracks are single file. Carpenter blinking just a little bit there on the inside, but a lot of these tracks are single file in nature. But one thing I've noticed, and I think it's an iRacing thing, is tire wear really doesn't matter too much. You're going to see that. That's something we've talked about season after season, is if you're out front, we've seen guys with old tires. It's just like the tires don't fall off.
Yeah, it's something about how the tracks are that they don't really mess around with the tires. It's the 28 almost just hit the 17 on 17 almost went around.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got, oh yeah, you're going to see a lot of bumping and banging going on out here in short track racing. But, we talk about that because when pit stops come up, some of these guys, I mean, obviously fuel-wise, they're going to have to get some fuel, but whether or not you take tires, as you could already see, coming through the field, it's hard to pass here. So coming through the field, man, it's going to be a tough one anyways. It's just something new tires just really don't, the benefit ain't there for some reason. I think it's got something to do with maybe how they got the compound on the short tracks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's also depending on how hard the driver drives into the corners too. That plays a big factor in tire wear and when you have changed tires.
Yeah. What's up, Corey, man? Jason, how y'all doing out there? And then we got hits. I hope I said it right. Caution out already. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, Larry Bell. Watch what happened to him, man. Got the dead stroke. Somebody tried to kill him. Oh, he just lost it. Come off the turn. Ouch. That's something you're going to see, man, time to time. That's usually, you know, either too much throttle coming off the turn. Could be some brake bias, but normally coming off the turn, just kind of getting on the throttle too.
Yeah, that's another thing about this track. I mean, you gotta kind of play with the throttle when you come off the corners, or else you're just gonna end up flipping your rear around. But this track is a fun track, but it's tricky.
Yeah, I tell you, another track's really tricky was a Concord Speedway. That one's.
Yeah, I used to race at Concord all the time. It's a very tricky track, but it's also fun when you get side by side.
Yo, hey man, appreciate it out there gaming. Right. Well, right now it's all Carpenter. The man out front. Guy on Pierce because that guy's pretty quick as it is. Zimmerman hanging on the third, and hope I say this guy's name. Bogus? Andrew? Know that part. Want to take a crack at it?
I don't like to butcher names too well, so.
Hey man, look, you're looking at the king of messing names up here. I'm gonna say Bogus. I don't know if it's Z silent or not. The Z might be silent.
Yeah, I'm not. I couldn't. I'm gonna go with Bogus as well. That's
Yeah. Sounds like a good one. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Jason Raymond. What's that?
Sphinx Gaming is actually my cousin.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah.
okay. What's going on? Get the cuz out there. Hey. I was hoping to say it wasn't your brother because your brother may be coming up there bothering you, right?
Oh no, I see him right now. He's walking this way.
Oh Lord, yeah, you caught him in the eye before he knocked you out. Chase Pierce taking the lead. Carpenter there behind him. Zimmerman. The restarts are really tricky here because everybody's trying to get what they can get, and they're bumping and banging. Because I believe that inside lane's where you want to be. You're outside, you get doomed.
Yeah, it's kind of like Daytona. It's 50-50 on the lanes. It's easier to be on the inside because you can come off corners easier, but the outside is just as good when you're entering the corners.
And out. Yeah, Corey always, man, yours is like Corey Buwat or something. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Everybody's single file now up front. You got to go back, and man, I think he's in trouble right now, Jason Raymond, if Mettler doesn't let him in line. Yeah, it just looks like that inside lane. A lot of these short tracks like this, you know, South Boston tracks and all that, tend to be kind of, you know, single file tracks, and they're really tough to pass.
Yeah, definitely. I used to work at a little racetrack. It's not on iRacing, unfortunately, but it's kind of the same way as like South Boston, New Smyrna, and all these tracks. It's so hard to pass unless you can get under somebody.
Okay, cool. Scotty Stevens got a new paint job now. I always liked the last week we were talking about Butt Kicker, which is a great product, by the way. Guys, one of the sponsors here, but it's a great product. But I made a new name. Got the Butt Vibrator.
Yeah, I've heard about them.
Get you one, man.
My dad was actually looking into getting one.
Yeah. Oh, does he race?
So we share a rig at the moment, but he's thinking about getting another one so we can race together.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, Dad out here, man, started racing. I hear you. What's that?
He definitely worked his way all the way through. He wasn't like one of those guys that would just, like me, where I would just sit in the back and go around and get up to A class. He actually worked for it, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Watching this Jacob Torman. That's a nice SRT car.
You know, that was my paint job, I think, a few months ago.
That's a nice one, man.
Had one like that.
Oh, like that. What's that guy come? He might be a new guy, too. I don't remember seeing that name. Him and the Brandon Ishcon. We'll just say Brandon Ish. I'll just go with that route. If I don't know the last name, we'll try to half it, you know? Or I'll just go with the first name. You know, you want to know something that's kind of cool out here in this league? The guys that are down in the race room number 7. I'm from Lexington, North Carolina, by the way. Chase Pierce, his sponsor up here, who is leading Top Hat Comics, is a comic place that I go to here in town. I get a lot of my model stuff and whatnot. I'll talk about it in a minute. But it's cool. I found out last week that whole team down there are from Lexington. And I was like, man, short world.
Yeah, I haven't really ran into any iRacers that in leagues that have been in my area. But when I do, I mean, I found like one or two. When I do, it's pretty cool because, I mean, they're probably 10, 15 minutes on the road.
Yeah. What's up, Moosin? How you doing? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man, that dude's, and we just went on Mark Pierce, and then he's kind of driving a little crazy. That chased car. Going through the field here, seeing what some of these guys look like in the back here. Some guys a little bit off the pace, just a little bit. David back in the back, because it's all Chase Pierce. And one thing about going green flag racing on short tracks, you know it, I know it, is eventually you're going to catch lap traffic.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of the same way with like super speedways and all that, but it's easier to catch lap traffic here at New Smyrna than it is pretty much anywhere else. It's really easy.
Man, the Chris Carroll come off the turn like he's out there on a dirt track. Good night. Linging that car. See that?
Yep. 79 on the backstretch just went to the wall.
Uh-oh.
Inside wall got collected with the 01.
Well, let's go back and watch the replay, because I'm going to tell you, sometimes on these short tracks,
this kind of looks like one of those cases where tires came into a factor.
79?
Yeah, the 79 and the 01. Jeffrey Miller.
There we go. What happened to him? The bad thing about some of these short tracks is, and me and Corey in the past have talked about it, is we think that the flagman sometimes is asleep. We've actually seen guys sit on the track and wreck, and a caution never fly, and then a dude just goes and actually just slides a little bit and the caution comes out. So, gotta be something with like these, I don't know, way it is on this short tracks.
Yeah, I like to say he went down to the concession stands, got a burger, and he's eating his burger when it happened.
There you go. Yeah, man, yeah. No doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, battle's heating up front. Got Pierce And Carroll, and remember I was talking about Carroll. He's already come up 6 positions. That's the man. He's the defending champ. But I'm telling you, Pierce might be the one here that can give him a run.
Yeah, and kind of looking at Carroll's car. I mean, it looks like a car that I've seen race at New Smyrna.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, he's from Canada, so I don't know if he's ever been down there, but you can see he looks a little bit more looser than what Pierce is. See him come off those turns?
Yeah, he does look a little loose, doesn't he?
Either that or he's driving that thing a lot harder. You don't have to be scared to talk, man.
It kind of looks like he keeps hitting the apron, and that's what's happening.
Well, we're riding on board here with him, and you probably know better than I do, because again, I don't know when the last time I drove this track, which we were just talking about that. I didn't realize we were talking about when's the last race you've done on iRacing, and heck, I looked at mine, and it's been 2.5 years ago. Wow. But it looks like going into the transition and the turns, it's almost like what a Dover is. It's got kind of like a little bump.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these tracks are now doing, is putting a bump right before the entrance of the turn to give it kind of that little extra, trying to find the word, I guess an extra bump to make the race more interesting.
Yeah, throw you off as a driver.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, man, look at this battle back here for 4th and 5th. Wow. These guys going at it.
And not to mention the walls. It kind of looks like the walls are messing some of these drivers up too. Kind of pops out of them.
I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you, now the tour mods that they run on Tuesday nights here, which, they're in off season right now, but the tour mods that they run are notorious for the walls getting out there being magnets and taking these cars for a ride. I'm not saying they don't do it in these, but man, those tour mods are bad.
Yeah, just about a lap ago, I saw the 17 get the wall as we have a caution that just came out.
Geez, didn't nobody show up? We'll be able to get. Somebody just spun around real quick. One of those, like I was telling you, it's probably one of those cautions. It'd be like, really?
Yeah, I heard the 19.
Yeah, let's go on Brandon, Tennessee. Play on him. Dodge machine. Still going. Huh? Everybody slows down, so it wasn't him.
Just trying to maybe figure out who it might have been. 63 maybe?
I just went back on the caution and he in the pits.
That's what happened. He hit the wall. That's
The 63?
a little far back though.
Yeah, but what threw the caution?
I'm
He's
not
in the pits, yeah. Oh well, like I say, flag man, hot dogs.
Yeah. He ran down to he ran down to get some ketchup and accidentally hit the caution lights when he went down. So
Yeah, must have. Yeah, that is the one thing I know me and Corey in the past talked about on these short tracks is the cautions. Oh my God. Sometimes they just like really. So, and interesting here though, top 4 did not pit. So, and again, I take it back to the tire issue, and you'll learn this too, Kason, because it's a subject that went on for seasons now. Tires just are not beneficial on these tracks. I've seen guys take new tires. The track position is king. So if you're out front and you're going to be marred way back in traffic. Now Chase Pierce not bad, but he didn't take tires. He only had a 10-second pit stop. So he just took fuel. It's just these tires don't fall off, and that's just something we talk about a lot.
yeah, and I just found out what happened with the caution.
All right.
Looks like the 12 and the 33 got together, and 12 went sideways. Saved it, but the caution came out.
Wildness. Pace car's in. Carroll's out front. He's going to be a tough one to catch. Pierce, I know, is going to want to try to get down low. You got Mettler on the outside, and it looks like he's going to clear him. You know, we talk about short tracks, tempers, Cedra. You're never going to make anybody happy. It's almost like super speedways. Guy's going to be happy, guy's going to be mad. Got to be aggressive on these restarts, unfortunately, because you got to get down to that inside.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things to where you got to watch for if there's somebody on your inside, because these cars are a little hard to see who's on your inside if there's anybody down there. And a lot of people and the cautions came out again.
Oh, Brad Carpenter off track, so let's see what happened to him. He got punted. Boot in the back. In the Bob's machine. And car behind him's blinking.
Looks like he just lost it and hit the inside wall on the front stretch.
Lost talent. Yep, came out the turn. Now see what's crazy is the other guy earlier to hit the wall like that, no caution, but that one, he keeps going. See, that's what we was talking about, like on these short tracks. It's something about the caution trigger. I don't know what it is. Flag man's got to be drunk.
Hey, I mean, if he is, there's definitely an issue with that.
Well, it only happens a lot on the short track. I mean, hey, last season's no lie. There was like 4 cars wrecking on the middle of the track. It took over a lap before they threw it, before iRacing threw a caution. And we were like, where's the caution? And all of a sudden it comes out, and then the leaders almost ran into it. It was like, wow, crazy.
Yeah, these short tracks kind of get tricky with cautions.
Well, if we go single file, they do the, like in dirt racing, they only go a lap or so, go single file.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that in dirt track, and I've seen a few of it in short track racing. We've been mentioning a lot about the race cars, but we haven't mentioned anything about the pace car, how the pace car looks.
Well, that's that general neutral pace car that iRacing brought out. It's confused on whether it's Ford, Chevy, or Toyota, and Tesla, whatever it wants. an automobile. Say that.
It looks like a Lexus. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a good way. Yeah, we talked about when it first came out. We were like, I got that distinctness of everything on it. So just call it a car. That'll work.
Yeah.
Oh man. Pierce is trying everything he can because he knows you let Carroll get too far out, you're done.
Yeah, Carroll's on a move. He's not slowing down. '21 just got loose coming off two, hit the wall, and then just got loose again and hit somebody coming off of 3.
Absolutely. Fast.
You know, I'm kind of watching the line of a few of these drivers, and it's always one line that makes them loose. That's what I'm seeing. Where they come in from the middle of the track and they go about all the way down to the yellow line and they come back up. That's when they get loose.
Yeah, right now it's looking pretty good. Guys, man, are no single file. You got Carroll out front, and he's got a big lead. That's not what the field wants.
Yeah, I mean, you let one of these drivers get away, especially good drivers like Carroll. Hope and pray there's a caution.
Yeah. Well, the over-under, now we go green all the way, which, I mean, we can. Doable.
It's definitely doable. The question is, will it happen?
Yeah. Do what I throw. I mean, especially when you got battles like back here in 11th, and then you go up here to Jason Raymond, which I have not seen Tammy out there yet. She ain't popped her head. Probably just out there lurking. Fingers crossed. Oh, Raymond. He races in real life too.
Oh, really?
I
Carroll
forgot what
has-
track he races in. What track he races? I'd have to ask Tammy again. It's his mom, by the way. You see him battling right now with old Andrew. And you can just see that inside lane. Just can't get the bike coming off the turn.
And you know, another thing, I mean, going back to the paint jobs of all these cars, another thing I like seeing is originals, you know, two-toned, barely any sponsors. I like those kind of cars. That's personal preference.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Who we got? Jeff Shell. Uh-oh. Reckon. Still have to him. Like the 33 slowed up, 21 got in the end, and boom, and next thing you know, it's a pileup. Ouch.
Yeah, that's another thing about New Smyrna is that there's not a lot of places you can go to avoid a wreck. So
There, pit stops. There's Tammy. Tammy says, "Yes, of course I'm here." Yeah. Well, I just had to see. You know, he didn't say nothing. Okay, here's where it's going to be interesting. Got guys going into pits and guys not, like Zimmerman, Sexton, Tanner. All those guys pitted at lap 44. Actually, the top seven. The top seven pitted at lap 44 for fuel and all. My calculations, they should be able to go all the way, fuel-wise. Here's where it's going to be an issue. Carroll marred way back in traffic, which I've seen him come through the field anyways. Now, there is a rule here, by the way. If you win, the next week you have to start in the back. So,
I kind of like that rule. It gives other people a chance.
it does. And like I say, I've seen Carroll come through the field many times. So back in 9th, he's going to be marred behind some traffic. But him, Pierce also back there in 13th, Raymond in 14th. So, and we talked about the tire issue. Pierce put 4 tires on. He had a 24-second pit stop. Takes a while for tires for some reason in these cars. So you're going to see, yeah, he'll pick off some positions, but you would think that new tires, especially 20-some, 30 lap, newer tires, he should be able to come through the field, but they can't. And it's a conversation we talk about all the time, and it blows my mind on why. Because NASCAR, the Cup cars, spinning and all that, yeah, they can do it. For some reason, these super late models and the tour mods, wrong.
Yeah, and another thing, like cold tires, if you start on the outside, cold tires don't work good on the outside because you have to turn so much more and it heats them up so much more quickly than when you're on the inside. So that's kind of something I've figured out when I've raced here, is outside is a good place to be when you enter the corner, bad place to be when you exit.
And I'm wondering also, too, we talked about this, is tire compounds. Nobody's really ever mentioned that too much with iRacing. In real life, you have different tire compounds, hard, medium, soft, and they last differently. It's almost like these guys are running on a harder compound, which would last quite a while, and they wouldn't fall off as quick as like a soft compound. Soft compound, you'd be fast at first, but then it'd fall off really. Could be the short track tire. Could be a harder compound. I don't know. It's a mess back here.
Yeah, I see that. There's a caution.
Even.
Yep, 12 car.
Yeah, iRacing's got him to 12. He got 45. I love those custom numbers. But yeah, we talk about tires a lot, and it's just one of them things that baffles me. Now, one thing about these cautions, you can see Carroll, he gained a few positions. The caution comes out. This is going to help him. He can keep gaining a few positions. The caution comes out. Eventually, he'll be back up front. It's if he was to get into a long green flag run is where it would hurt him more. And you can already see, like Chase Pierce, he didn't gain anything, and he's on new tires. So it's track position. I mean, just seen it so many times. It's king here.
Yeah, and I mean, something else that I feel, when these guys are on newer tires, it's a lot more difficult to get your car to stay in line than with older tires, but newer tires let you turn quicker. It's just something I keep noticing. Also with the damage on the cars, I've learned that it affects me when I'm on the inside, but on the outside it doesn't affect me at all.
We talked about that damage too with the super speedway. It's amazing. We've seen some guys have a little bit of damage where it should really, really, really affect you. Yeah, the short tracks, you can't get away with it, obviously, in real life. I mean, I don't know if you remember Harry Gant. You remember Harry Gant?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Telling your age, telling my age, so that's all right. Well, Harry Gant was an old driver back in the 80s. That tells you. But this guy, I mean, obviously those dudes back then, they beat the fenders off the car. And he literally had hardly no fenders left on the car. And I think it was in North Wilkesboro or Martinsville. It's one of the small tracks like that. He about won that dang race. because he just kept going. And as long as the car was going, he was going.
Yeah, I keep hearing a lot of drivers say, as long as it has 4 wheels and a little bit of my body, I'm gonna race.
Yeah, because he looked like about a modified out there before it was over with. I mean, but that just shows you, like, on short tracks, you could get away with it as long as it's not, like an internal damage to motor or suspension or something. You get away with a lot of body damage. But, like we were talking about the other night, super speedway.
Yeah, because I keep looking at the 28. He has a lot of right side damage to his right front fender.
Yeah. And I don't think that'll affect him too much as long as it's not, like towed in or anything like that. He obviously got the advantage on the start. Side by side though. Scotty Stevens there on the bottom. Scotty Stevens, another fast one. See, Carroll has to be careful here because he's locked behind these two guys up here is battling. What would you do different out here on the track?
I mean, the way I see them running right now, I would try to keep it, single file if it were me, but a lot of guys want to try to get up to the front quicker.
Yeah, and two, it's so hard to pass here. I'm watching this battle back here around the 8th place spot, and I mean, you can see Pierce. Yeah, he's on those newer tires, but just can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something else that you gotta keep in mind is who's on newer tires and who's on older tires. Some of these guys went in the pit, some of these guys didn't. 51 hard into the wall.
Yeah, he got a little tap in the back there, and he held on to it. Joshua Sexton. Really easy to get into each other here too. Oh!
That should bring out. Yep, there's a caution.
Oh, yeah, it's pile up. Good night. We got cars all over the place.
07's upside down.
Yeah, he's I can watch it again. Poor guy. Mettler sees it happening in front of him. Why Mettler? Running, riding with him right now.
And also something else I keep seeing about these cars. Noticing how hard they're hitting the brakes and how much they're hitting the brakes.
Yes.
Because of how hot they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of drivers in oval don't really talk much about it. Brake fade. It can happen here on iRacing just as well as anything else. Road racers talk about it more because they're always on their brakes, but short tracks, yeah, it definitely can happen. Watching this replay, you can see it right there. Mettler tried to change it, then the 07 just, is that the 07 or 70? Oh, no, that's Jeff Shell, yeah. I thought it was 07 when it was upside down, but it's actually the 70. Watch him again. He almost had it avoided, stopped, couldn't go anywhere, got into the 44, then he just got like flipped over like a dead turtle.
Yeah, and that's something you just got to trust other drivers to figure out is focus when you're braking, when you're not. Some of these drivers, they can't tell when you're braking because of no brake lights. So,
yeah. I tell you what, that'd probably make it worse if you had brake lights.
Won't be able to see when the turn's coming up.
Well, too, then you'd have guys have to brake check it all the time,
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it's not like in a road race. I think they do have some form of like a brake, but they're going into those turns hard, and they have the hard brake. Here, it's more of you ease onto the brake sometimes, you know, depending on the track. It's kind of like, you know, you could fool somebody a little bit, you know, play some games if you had brake light. I think that conversation's come up in real life before.
Yeah, I think, where was that? It was somewhere, I forgot where, but I heard about it.
Yeah. Oh, what are they talking about? What's that? Why NASCAR doesn't have brake lights and you know, good racing does, and etc. Anyway, that's the same reason why they ain't got headlights either.
Yeah, headlights would be a lot worse. In my headlights because they're so bright.
Yes. Zimmerman out front. You see Carroll finally going to make it around on the outside. That's not what Zimmerman wants to see. Pierce able to get around. He was able to miss that last caution, so he's back up there. Cautions have kind of helped these guys out. You pick a couple off, come through the field. Hey, that Andrew guy's new to the league. Really seen his name before. Got Levi right behind him.
Something
Nice.
else I keep seeing too is brake points.
What do you mean?
I feel like when the person in front of you, like you need a brake before the person in front of you brakes, then you have a better run coming off of the turns.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be like, you always call that like backing the turn up. You know, slow in, fast off. Again, that's one of them road racing terms. When I did race, I was always the type person that I backed the turn up. I would definitely let off way before a lot of guys. Some guys like driving it on into turns, you know what?
Yeah, I see a lot of these guys kind of just diving into the corners and hoping for the best.
And usually, unless it's going to stick, like what you just said, not going to be beneficial coming out of the turn. Carroll right now having a hard time. See, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, Carroll earlier pitted, and you see how old Zimmerman's tires are. Carroll's probably got about the same amount of old tires, but still, it just, like, track position's king. And even Pierce back there, remember, he got 4 new tires. He's still back in 5th. He's not making up time.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch, you know, like when people's braking points are, to figure out, okay, so this is their plan. Because when you look at their braking points, you can figure out when they're going to turn down, if they're going to either dive or if they're just going to arch into the corner. It's fun to kind of analyze those things.
Yeah, and you can see a lot by, what we see up here. Tanner back here in the back, Jason Raymond, they have not been able to make up any ground. And then Mettler, they're all back there 12th, 13th position. See, right now, you just see it's kind of, single file because everybody's kind of stuck. I mean, Carroll can get his nose underneath, but it almost is like that car wants to push up coming out of the turn, and if he stays there, he's going to get that right, the left quarter panel. But if he stays where he's at right now, eventually he's just going to lose. As Scotty Stevens almost lost it, and he did. Ouch. What happened to him? I saw him back here in the back. He was in 3rd place at the time.
Looks like that was a little bit of net code.
Boom. That might have been a good bump and run. But it held. Actually, it was a good bump and run.
Definitely was.
I like the bump and run now.
But I'm guessing the 28's probably not going to be happy with that caution. Because now he's got Carroll on his outside.
Well, they do have the choose cone rule here. I know how familiar you are with it. So Zimmerman could choose where he wants. Now, my question, I don't think second place can override the leader on the choose cone rule. I think it only applies to second on back, right? Like Carroll can't say, well, hey Zimmerman, I want the inside. Or, vice versa. I think it's Zimmerman ultimately has the choice over them. And then from there, it's everybody else. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's completely correct.
Okay, all right. I'm kind of new to the choose cone thing, so I was thinking of that. But really, Carroll is at the mercy of whatever the leader is. I would say it probably benefits the guy from third on back. So, if you're Andrew, what would you do? Would you want to go high or would you want to stay low?
Well, it all depends. So if Zimmerman sticks to the bottom, I would go to the bottom with him. But if he goes to the top, I mean, being in third, it's kind of that choice between, okay, do I go high and have a chance at maybe weaving my way through, or do I stay on the bottom and have a better chance of holding my line and catch them later on?
Hey, now, yeah, you bring up a good one out there, Corey. You're right. The whole field could go on the inside. The problem is if I saw that, then I'm going to the outside, and I'm instantly going to be right beside the leader, and I'm going to take my chances then. So I don't think you're ever going to see the whole entire field go to the inside because that would be crazy. But you are right. As now you just see what Carroll just did. He went outside. So there's the choose cone. Because Zimmerman went low. Could this benefit Andrew? We'll have to see. Benefits Zimmerman either way. But this is a high lane track. For the most part, if you can get down low early. See, I think this really helps Zimmerman. Carroll's going to be the one that's, unless he gets down to the bottom, which I don't think he's going to have too trouble here.
And don't
Zimmerman's
forget,
going to be able to get away, though.
yeah, don't forget we're coming close to the end of this race too, so strategies may change and they might start being a little bit more aggressive than normal.
Yeah, like right there. And seeing, here's the thing, that benefits Zimmerman so well. I mean, you see here comes Carroll and Pierce. The Zimmerman was able to get away. Laps wind down so fast, and you saw how much trouble Carroll earlier was having to get around Zimmerman. So, yeah. The more it goes green, definitely. Carroll's going to have to eventually be patient, but he's going to have to be aggressive. The thing about Carroll is, I know drivers might say different. I don't think he will, but if Zimmerman keeps doing that, he's going to make short work of it.
Yeah, and a lot of these drivers are going to try to force the driver in front of them to make a mistake. Like that just happened.
Yep, there you go. That's the race right there for him. That's all he needed. And Zimmerman just don't have a car that's going to get back up our 2 Carroll.
The only thing Zimmerman can hope for is either a caution or Carroll to make a mistake.
Yeah, and Carroll don't make too many. I'd say he don't. They don't make too many. Let's see. Raymond now back up to 8. Caution helped him. Remember, he was back there by about 12, 13. Him and Tanner, Sexton, they're all teammates, by the way. 5 Kings Motorsports. I give a shout out to those guys. It's race 2 of the season here for the late models. Appreciate Kaysen up here. We'll get Kaysen talking more, folks. Get him wound up.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll talk more.
He's playing defense from his brother, so he couldn't get hit.
Worst thing is the hallway is completely dark, so I can't see who's walking down it.
Oh, see, there you go. He's missing. Biggest battle on the track's got to be back here in 8th and 9th. Raymond and company, Sexton, and just shows you once you get marred back in traffic, it's really tough to get up front. But now Zimmerman, even though he might not pull this win off, still good pit strategy is going to get him a good finish.
Definitely. And another thing that I would like to see is a green-white checker finish.
Well, that's going to help the leader, though. But you're right. Make it interesting for second, third, on back. We get those on the Friday, Saturday stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Super speedways can be crazy. I like these short tracks because that's what they run, all short tracks. You can kind of see. Remember, Carroll, if he wins this one, the next week he's got to start in the back.
That is right, and that may or may not be good for him. I know a lot of drivers like to start in the back and then work their way through the field so they can see who's running what line and who they have to battle against.
Yeah, well, as far as Carroll goes, I'm going to tell you, and I hate to, bring it up, but I mean, obviously, being the past champ last several seasons, he knows how to get through the field somehow, some way. Now, it's true, he has some problems here and there, run-ins and whatnot, because that's just short track racing and how it works out. But the man on the move right now is Tanner, up to 6 already.
I'm kind of watching this battle for a second here.
Got Pierce and Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Pierce right there.
He was right on his bumper, and I guess he backed off.
I mean, you don't want to hit him, but now I'm an advocate for bump and run, right? A true bump and run. Now, I'm not talking about wrecking guy. But if you bump him and move him up the track and go scooting on by him, that to me is a good move. Now, obviously, one guy's going to be happy, one guy's going to be mad.
Most definitely, as the white flag comes out.
Yeah, this one's going to be official here. Carroll there. I just don't think Pierce, man, drove it into that turn there. 3 and 4, final time. Oh, Carroll out here tonight. Gonna win race 2. Zimmerman in second. Pierce coming home in third. Good race, good finish.
Definitely was a good finish. It was a good battle for second there for a while.
Yeah. See what we can come up with. Some guys get a word with them. Find them. All right. Want to do an interview?
I will next time.
All right. Yep, third place, man. Chase, join the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah.
I tell you what. Well, you tried everything you could. Anything you could have done to get around that second place machine?
I don't think so. This is one track. It's so hard to pass that, and the line, it's so weird. I mean, I don't think I passed anybody, but maybe one car, if that, on the bottom tonight. All my passes were up top. It's so difficult to pass. I couldn't get by Zimmerman. He was protecting the line really well in front of me. I couldn't get it.
So do you think maybe early on taking that pit stop with the tires, that might have hurt the track position?
When I pitted the first time, yeah. I think if I would have stayed out, I probably would have been ahead of Carroll a lot longer, maybe even had him off the whole way. But I'm really not sure.
Tell you what, still coming home third tonight. Got a good start to the season. Got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my parents, Top Hat Comics, Stick Shifter, Sim Racing, Fanatech, Thrustmaster, iRacing for the great sim, you guys at OSRN for the great broadcast, and Cricket Line for the great league.
Go, man. Chase Pierce coming home in second. Let's bring man up here in third. Bring second place, man. Brian, join the booth. Got a copy?
I got you, bud. How you tonight?
Pretty good, man. Well, I tell you what, you stretched that thing out there and almost held on for the win. Car
was great. Good setup. Guys did a good job on that setup tonight. It was a lot of fun. Took 2 tires early. My tires were they were shot by the time Chris got to me. We had some speed as long as we could keep them cool, and those cautions were helping me cool those right sides down. But I pushed off a 2, got an outside wall, and gave Chris the opening there to take me on the inside. But a good fun run. Everybody run clean. Chase run me really clean there at the end. I just appreciate everybody running clean tonight. Had some new faces in here, but for that many cars in here, I was 20 cars, and just a handful of cautions. I thought everybody did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's typical short track racing. You held on out there. Good run for the second race of the season. You got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Yeah, I think those guys over there at Pit Lizard I'm running with in this league, Chris Carroll and Larry Bell, and Levi Allen, he's running with us tonight. Appreciate all those guys, a lot of fun. Thank y'all, everybody at Five Kings that throw these races on, and you, Joe, that do that great job on the broadcast. Look forward to watching your broadcast later tonight and tomorrow at work. So always enjoy y'all's broadcast. You do a great job, man.
Tell you what, man, y'all the exciting ones out there on the track. Again, congratulations on that second, Brian.
Thank you, Joe. We'll see you next week.
All right, let's bring the man up here, Chris Carroll. Chris, do you want the boot got a copy?
You got a copy, Joe?
Well, I'll tell you what, second race of the season. First one didn't go the way you wanted it, but this one here, man, not bad. But was you a little worried on trying to get around Zimmerman there?
Yeah, Zimmy, man, he's always fast, and I wanted to push it there, but I didn't want to push him. He's a great teammate, and I got lucky he made a mistake there, and I capitalized. But yeah, Zimmy, man, he's one of the hardest guys in the world to pass, but he's as clean as you can get out there.
I'll tell you what, so now it puts you in the lead of next week. You got to start in the back. How you feeling about that?
Well, Joe, I've been around the block a few times. I started in the back more than once, so I don't know what track we're running, but whatever it is, we'll find our way through there, hopefully.
Hey, no doubt about it. I'll tell you what. Well, looks like I said it last season. You mentioned something about some competition. I think Pierce might be putting it on there. We'll have to see as the season goes on. But, man, starting off with a win. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the Pit Lizard boys. I was bummed out that Larry Bell had a tough night tonight. I don't know what happened to him, but I know he got wrecked. And I always got to thank Tanner and the boys for working so hard to put this on. It looks like we got a pretty big field this season, and it looks real competitive, so it looks like a lot of fun. And got to thank you for putting on the broadcast, and glad you and Tanner worked your stuff out there, and we're back on OSRN. And I got to thank my folks out there as well. They're always watching me out there, so got to thank them for being so loyal to me.
Oh, no doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you what, Carol, man, as always, good to see you out front. See what happens next week. Again, congratulations on that win.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, Chris Carroll, bringing home. Well, Kaysen, man, that's short track racing for you right there. Actually, it was a really good race, man. Just a couple cautions, a lot of great battles, and see what these guys bring about next week.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's kind of what you see when you come here in real life. Is only a few cautions, great battles. Everybody does a great job.
There you go. Second race of the season. Five Kings Motorsports. Crooked Line Racing here, New Smyrna. For everyone, have a good night.